Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to BioShock Remastered. I almost called it Raptured Remastered. We're probably going to finish it here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is even a short recording because of it. We've gotten turned into the Big Daddy and we're ready to go get a little sister to open the door for us so we can take on Fontaine. In spoiler alert, one of the worst thought out and dumbest endings to a game ever.
You need to bring them out of hiding and then they'll let you in the door. Go on, hit the vent with your wrench.
So I've got my wrench. Imagine if you hadn't picked up a wrench at this point in the game. That would be really, really funny. Is it actually possible that that could have happened? Probably not. I've missed one of these somewhere. I'm pretty certain. Here it is. Now I'm the only Big Daddy with a two hands free. As you see the animation here.
Hit the vent with your wrench. It would mean very much to me if you will be gentle with the girl. Mein kleines Mädchen.
So like a good Big Daddy, I'm going to keep her alive. She's got this life bar. And we're ready to load the proving ground. Which is where all the Big Daddies were proved their, I suppose, ability to protect little sisters. So I don't want any splicers anywhere near me. I guess I'm just not wearing a drill or gloves.
The little ones
or the animation's wrong.
But you must protect them.
Like, all the animations show both hands completely free. In this area, there's just one director's commentary.
Hurry! Hurry, Mr. Bubbles!
I don't need anything else.
It's been a long road. You don't even remember most of it. Put you on a sub when you were just a sprout.
Now, would the security triggers or anything stop?
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. Bubbles.
Go off if I run into a security cam codes? See, the door's just open for them. Always. We have these green.
Hurry, Mr. B! I can see Amy dancing in the sky.
Go in here, little sister. Hi. Are those shut off?
Hurry, Mr. B! Angels are waiting for our kiss.
So, there's this just fight going on. And we're ignoring it.
I really wound you up with that wife and child bit. Oh, me poor Moira. I, me wee baby Patrick.
Don't be a slowpoke.
Maybe one day I'll get me a real family. They play well with me suckers.
So, we've got two stories going on here, and I kind of wish only one of them was happening at a time.
Hurry! Hurry, Mr. Bubbles!
The much more important story here is protecting the little sister. Frank Fontaine could have just shut up for this portion. That would have
Time to
been
go,
okay.
Mr. B!
We'll go with an auto hack on.
Hurry, Mr. B! I can see the angels dancing in the sky.
So here's test subject number 1.
Look, Mr. Bubbles!
Even though they are physically free of the need to gather, Shawn's mental conditioning still holds them to their terrible past.
Hurry, Mr. B!
For sin such as you can never atone.
It looks Don't be a slowpoke. Angels don't wait for slowpokes. It was pretty angel.
Nothing but dust.
Anybody else threatening my little sister here?
No! Watch them forever.
Hop, hop, Mr. B. No time to waste.
Keep going. Big old angler fish here.
Hurry, Mr. B. I can see the angel dancing in the sky. Hurry, hurry, Mr. Bubbles. Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B. Angels don't wait for slowpoke.
Watch out!
Oh,
The
Mr.
chat is narcotic will draw the attention of the splicer.
Hurry, Mr. B. I can see the angel dancing in the sky. I'm a good girl. Hurry, Mr. B. Angels are waiting. Hurry, hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
Nobody's getting near. I'm trying to do like no damage to see if maybe there's an achievement for that.
No time to waste.
Of course, on the harder gameplay modes, they'd probably move faster and have more health.
Pretty angel, Mr. B. Time to go, Mr. B. I see Adam.
I'm ready whenever you are, little sister.
It looks sad, Mr. B.
So, how do you play this experience if you've been killing and harvesting the little sisters the whole time?
Dancing in the
Do you
sky.
just skip this whole section? You probably should, because it would make no sense to even care to protect them
Hurry, hurry,
if-
Mr. Bubbles.
if you've been killing every single one.
Hurry, Mr. B. Angels
Where
are
are you?
waiting for our kisses.
There you are. So far, no health taken off unless it recovers. And why does this guy...
Ignore the lies that Apple sent his
Time to
parasites.
go, Mr.
I don't think he's gonna attack me. There we go.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B. Angels don't wait for slowpokes.
Now, this is actually a pretty good,
Hurry, hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
like, companion quest, because she speeds up and she slows down and she
Hurry, Mr.
does
B.
everything you would want somebody who is following you to do. That's it for my auto, huh?
Time to go, Mr. B.
Oh no, they hit the little sister.
Mr. B. No time to waste.
She didn't make any sound.
Don't know what I was thinking. Never spliced stuff once the whole time I was down here in this aquarium. Figured it was bad to mix business with pleasure, but whew! Forget all the nose candy and floor polish I've been wasting time with. This stuff is the mother's milk.
So,
Slowpoke, Mr. B.
Fontaine is now splicing up.
Don't wait for Slowpoke.
Are you following me, sister? Where are you? Did she move forward? She's losing health. Is she down there?
Don't be a Slowpoke, Mr. B.
There you are.
Angels don't wait for Slowpoke.
I guess I didn't really need to do this, but for old time's sake, I suppose we are just going to put this puzzle together. I could have just bought out the thing.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Did she skip test subject 3? Did she?
Time to go, Mr. B.
Where is it?
Hurry! The harvesting will draw the attention of the spider.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hurry! Hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
Hold still, and it won't turn.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Out of regular things,
Hurry! Hurry, Mr.
let's now
Bubbles.
switch to our handgun. Alright.
Don't be a Slowpoke, Mr. B. Angels don't wait for Slowpoke.
Where is she? This way?
Hurry, Mr. B. Angels are waiting for our kisses.
She is taking her sweet time all of a sudden. Why can't I pick her up and put her on my shoulder like the other big daddies? No, you don't. Why are you attacking?
Hop, hop, Mr. B.
And by the way, this would be our last chance to take a picture of an elite.
Better for the girl to be with you. Better with you than alone. Alone in the crawling darkness.
Time to go, Mr. B.
Again, good question to ask is just
Don't be a Slowpoke, Mr. B.
why did he attack?
Angels don't wait for Slowpokes.
There's a giant turtle, and we're still
Hurry!
walking.
Hurry,
Did she just
Mr.
walk in the
Bubbles.
fire? Like she did.
Huh? That might be plenty for the working scrubs and the pencil pushers, but I need more. More! I want to splice till there ain't nothing left to splice with!
I'll just buy out that. And here's an area. That was a ridiculous amount of money.
Fontaine is nearby. You are reaching for it now.
So I want a live electric gel.
There. You must use the needle of the little sister to drain Fontaine of his atoms. It is the only way to defeat
Welcome to the circus of value. Come back when you get some money, buddy. The only craving that the
So we're setting up here for the final fight. This whole place is full.
The needle.
Where'd you put the needle? Incendiary
Here,
bolt?
take this.
Take it.
Stick it in the bag.
Fontaine waits above. There will be no going back from here. Make sure you are ready to face him before moving on.
So we're missing a power to the people thing. We somehow missed that.
Welcome to the circus.
And if we look here, we can see we could have gotten a health upgrade and another other upgrade. Man, I didn't realize that. So we could have gotten another even health upgrade. That sucks. We've got nothing but this electric gel and all that. So that'll be my attempt, is to see if I can just electric gel the guy first. But let's see the director's commentary first.
The illusion of choice is a thinly veiled dynamic that drives many single-player gaming experiences. And while many developers spend a lot of time trying to convince players that choice is real and authentic in their games, the truth more often is that choice is a superficial concept in gaming narrative. BioShock confronted this idea head-on, searing into our minds a innocuous three-word phrase with an unforgettable new meaning.
Pseudo-narrative dissidence. That is the new three-word phrase. Well, it doesn't mean the same thing. Actually, pseudo-narrative dissidence means you realize that you're not in control.
Moments in the game is the "would you kindly" phrase and the reveal.
I still try "would you kindly" on people every now and then, and it sometimes actually
works.
works.
Still, to me, one of the most classic kind of narrative moments in games in the past decade. What's interesting about that phrase is that it didn't always start like that. Can you tell us sort of about the evolution of sort of the the conditioning of the player? And there was once Excelsior was the phrase once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't work. Stan Lee would control the world.
Some of this. So we had the idea, because we had the Andrew Ryan scene very early, and we knew sort of all the events that would happen. There were phrases before there was "would you kindly." The notion existed and what it meant and what it was, but we didn't actually have the phrase "would you kindly" until later. So we had a bunch of terms we threw in there. And like Excelsior was it for one point. That's probably comes from my Stan Lee fanboyism.
Was that like so throughout the game? It would have been like Excelsior.
Just randomly
there are some things when you're making games you just sort of throw in as like, we need
Sounds
something.
Cool
we need
Why don't
something
you head over there, Excelsior?
And then it sits there for a year.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you kind of forget it's not good, right? And then until somebody comes along and says, "Dude,
seriously."
Yeah.
What's
Or you meant
Excelsior?
it to be like a stub in. You never
Right.
meant it to actually gain traction, and then you're like, "Oh crap."
But that sense of some phrase or word being repeated throughout the game that you wouldn't really realize its meaning until later, that was there very early on.
Yes, yeah. And the fact that you would have something that seemed like a non-thing and then came back at you like a freight train later on was there from pretty early.
Sit, would you kindly? Stand.
And the way it seems to work is if you just say it once, then you have control over them for a long time. Not just one
Man
command.
chooses. A slave obeys.
So that phrase evolved, but talk about that, the sort of meta-narrative of, being in a game, thinking that you have a sense of choice and making these decisions, but then obviously realizing that the player ultimately didn't have choice or was conditioned in a way that they would react to that. That was, sort of a new idea for a game. Where did that come from on your side, kind of? Was there sort of a deeper sort of, meaning behind it?
No, look, I think I was always interested in the concept, whether it's you know, Oedipus, not to get too pointy-headed here, but Oedipus sort of thinking he has, oh, I'm going to leave, you know, this city and go to another city because there's been this prophecy about me, and I'm going to avoid my fate, and I'm in complete control, and then finding out he's not in control at all, to the Manchurian Candidate, which is a story I love about, you know, somebody who you find out is just a puppet, you know, living a life of a man, and Fight Club. You know, I always love those kind of stories about who am I and what is my agency in this world, because look, we struggle. I think everybody struggles that. You know, how much we really have control over, and how much is, you know, our boss or parents or whatever telling us what to do. So that seemed like a natural thing for a story, and because it came from movies, that idea a lot, and plays, I don't think it was very, there was a lot of, it hadn't been explored in games really, and games are particularly interesting because games,
you feel like you are interacting with us, yeah.
And you're really being, you know, most games, especially at the time, you're really just being railroaded down a corridor. It's very easy to underestimate gamers, and I think probably I did a little of my own underestimation there, that it would be a little too pointy-headed for people, but people seem to really engage, probably because it spoke to an experience they had, a struggle as a gamer they've always had, which is like, I want to control, but how much control do I really have in this game?
True. And Shawn, I mean, it was also something that, you know, was a great surprise when you played through the game, and I'm sure even for people on the team, did everyone know that when Ken was sort of doing it, or it was revealed as people played through it?
I think, I mean, at some point the entire team knew. It wasn't, it was something that was talked about with a smaller group before, you know, it was brought to the entire team. Early on, when you heard the idea and you just kind of clicks, right? You're like, okay, like I totally get this.
Did
like,
people get it? I seem to remember people looking at me like I was like a lunatic.
Maybe not the specifics, and maybe it's the Excelsior, or you may be talking about the Excelsior time, but the idea that you don't really have choice, and exactly like you said, you played through how many video games, and everybody's game is going to end the same way. You're going to kill these people, you're going to pass through these checkpoints, and you think you have a choice, but ultimately the only real choice is stop playing the game. So the idea that we're kind of like taking that on resonated. Now the actual, like, is it Excelsior, or is it the Latin phrase I forgot, or if it's would you kindly?
See, here's how I remember it, and I could be, you know, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I can remember being so surprised by the outside reaction, because I remember the internal reaction being completely nobody connected or engaged to it. I mean, we worked on it.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of surprised by the outside reaction, because I kind of thought it was like, you know, as I said, it's a bit academic, right? Yeah. And it could also be a function of,
we're playing it close to the vest.
I could be misremembering it, or it could also just be a function of nobody making the game had the experience of playing it through and getting to that moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was revealed to them in advance of really playing it, so it wasn't that surprise.
Yeah, they had seen it in all its really half-assed, you know, development stages
and
on the way.
out of order.
Yeah, out of order and all that.
And it's not really something you can play test over an afternoon, because it takes a little while to get to that point.
You need to lack the knowledge about what the game is to be able to sort of have that experience all the way through. I know you guys have talked about you know, the idea of Atlas, the voice actor changing, and it was, I guess, very important that you nailed that actor, right? And you trusted that actor until there was sort of the Fontaine reveal and sort of understanding that.
Yes, trust was everything there, right? And so there was something about either the actor or the writing or the accent that just people immediately said, this guy's no good.
Right.
When the first Atlas we had, because you have to trust this guy, and if you don't, there's no trust, there's no punch in the gut. I think we've really focused on making him have personal stakes in the story as well. That he had his family trapped. Even, of course, it was all fiction, right? But he had skin in the game. He sort of spoke to you as a friend, and especially because the whole world was so hostile to you. I think it took a while to get that exactly right.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe. I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again.
They never explain
Shawn,
these chain
what do you
tattoos
hope is the
on the wrist.
lasting legacy
They shouldn't have been
BioShock, there. 10 years. Hence, a lot of things you guys were doing.
I guess the chain tattoos are a sick joke.
With,
he's a slave.
Moral choices in games and whatnot. But it was
and it's
really
been showing you the whole game that he's a slave, brainwashed.
When you reflect on it, what do you hope people remember the game for sort of pushing?
They don't ever mention
For me, it's telling a story with the medium, and how we used everything available to us to tell that story. We used the environment to set up the backstory of Rapture and really create a sense of space, which I think is vitally important to getting the players to trust that, to sit down and kind of like just be in the space and let these things happen. Even the radio logs, the rudimentary animation that we had at the time. I mean, we really sat down with the tools that we had and at our disposal and tried to tell a meaningful story. Maybe not meaningful, but something that would be memorable to people that they could take away and, like you said earlier, have that water cooler moment where they're excited enough to talk about it after they put the controller down. So for me, I think the legacy is that it was a story well told.
For me, it was a sense of place, being like the Rapture's a real thing, even though it's not. It's actually a very crude, from the time, a relatively crude bunch of polygons and texture maps. It's only, the original game is only in 720, I think. And I played a lot of it when we were testing it on a 14-inch, SD television. That it still felt like a sense of place in the music and the characters, that it's a real place. And I think that my memories of the BioShock games was that I take away that Rapture's a real place and Elizabeth's a real person. Those are the two sort of big things that stick with me with those two games, and that's sort of what I'll always, carry forward with me in my life.
BioShock is, it's a place, but as we saw,
of course, Elizabeth
hasn't
hasn't even shown up.
Say like, oh,
she's only from BioShock Infinite.
Experience. When you think about,
BioShock
your
Infinite
career,
is
where you guys want to go,
connected.
that idea of
it's
those types
not
of
really
games,
connected.
Do you miss it now?
To the first two games.
Moved on to other things now, or do you feel like it's sort of you've closed that chapter?
Even though the story says it is, it's not.
Of what you do, like System Shock 2 was a part of BioShock. But it wasn't System Shock 2. It was you're growing past that and trying out new things. I think BioShock and BioShock Infinite, and even going back to SWAT 4, those will always be a part of my experience as a game developer and what we're trying to do with the medium. So I don't think it's something that you just draw a line and say, we'll never return, because there's always lessons that you can learn and things that you bring with you to the next.
But they don't really want to do big games anymore.
People are not going to be surprised that this game is new games from us. They're going to see a lot of what we had done before in terms of world building and
they want to do small
aspects
games,
of storytelling.
And frankly, the company was bought out.
Sort of, move away from the you really have no choice kind of thing, and that's a very, 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 very hard problem which we spent years working on. But we're building upon a foundation of stuff we've done before, just trying to go in a different direction with it. But it's always going to be part of our DNA.
I think I'd be willing to definitely play another game in the idea of an RPG, magic / weapons, dual wielding idea. I'd be willing to play that, but I think I'd want a totally different story and feeling of a story. So the funny thing here is I still don't have any choice. I can either exit the game or I run up here and take out the bad guy. And so I'm gonna run up here and take out the bad guy. The only real way you could... Oh, it went to a loading screen in a very awkward way there. I thought for a second it would crash. The only way you could really guarantee a player agency is you'd have to just say, alright, now program the game to do whatever you want from this point on. And give open source code.
When me and the crowd put you in that sub, you were no more than 2. You were my ace in the hole, but you were also the closest thing I ever had to a son. And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
So it went to a loading screen, then a saving screen, and I can't save myself. So we went up when we started at the beginning of the game, going down. So here's Fontaine. We gotta suck the atom out of him. And so this is a very video game just solution here. He's got a fire attack he's doing. And then he's got a splicer.
Good money for you.
This is what I get?
He's at half his life right now. I have 500 atoms.
You think I'm alone in this world? I got more than enough mugs to watch my back while I recharge.
I'm running around here just to see the area, look at all these little girl tunnels. Gene swapping section here. Here he's changed to an ice form. This is just a small little square section that we can run around. Little sisters have come out to help me. Yeah, but there's no power to the people.
You think it'll be that easy?
But there might be.
I'm ready for you. Catch my breath.
This electric gel.
And I'm gonna bury you and all them little eggs.
And he's just injected himself with ridiculous amounts of it. That's why I'm getting like 500. 700, 250. And now he's got the speed attack. There's a splicer. Just gotta lock this guy in. I can't keep him locked into place because he's using electricity. He's immune to electricity.
Need a minute. I'm gonna cut you.
So here we are. Last bit. Super easy with that weapon.
I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now, if you don't call that family, I know what is.
Like, he doesn't really look like a splicer. It was a terrible thing. This so should have been a narrative decision. Where you could either have killed him or let him go to parallel the killing of Andrew Ryan. And you could have either chosen to kill him or just walk away. And then you would have actually had some agency. And here's the good ending.
They offered you this city.
Notice how they look better now? They're animated better.
And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them.
None of this was my choice. All of this is just because I played good.
A chance to
learn.
learn.
You get this good ending.
To find love. To live.
And so the weirdness is, in BioShock 2...
in the end, what was your reward?
You're kinda, I think, playing as the same character?
You never said. But I think I know. A family.
And then they try to throw this family thing in here. And the theme of this game almost certainly is not family. If anything, the theme of this game is what kind of society should we be? And we've done zero to fix Rapture. We've done nothing, and I'm not sure there is much you could have done with Rapture. So it would have been better if you had kept the city and you had cured the splicers and removed the atom from everybody and sent them out all topside, or created a really thriving, successful society that's not run by people who are crazy and obsessed with ideology and frankly not following the libertarian thing. I joke starting this series that the true horror in this game for Halloween month is libertarianism, and it's true. It is just, you cannot, they're saying morals are subjective and society cannot agree on them and a government cannot legislate them, and it's just anarchy if you agree with these things, and you get rapture. That's what you get when you start thinking as extreme about libertarianism as Ayn Rand and Andrew Ryan want. This is the story of what Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged was about somebody convincing all the people who would be beneficial to society, the engineers, the scientists, the really helpful people of society, to disappear and create their own society and leave the rest of the world to rot. And the next step is rapture. All these people, driven by their own selfishness and crazy ideologies, create monsters. And since there seems to be no real policing of any weapons in this country, because that would be too much government oversight, weapons like plasmids become freely available. Well, not freely available, but freely for sale to every single person in Rapture. And the poor get stepped on and manipulated. The rich get stepped on and manipulated. In the end, Andrew Ryan could not produce the society that he thought he could produce, and so he just became yet another dictator. And our part in it is we were just getting manipulated like so many other people. Now, to cover the legacy of BioShock, this is a very important game. I wouldn't want to see another BioShock-style game, though, trying to cover the story. Even when you get to BioShock Infinite, they try to make a story as important as this, and it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. I would like to see more of just a Borderlands style game from them. Just, it's going to be funny, it's going to be stupid, it's going to have a dumb story. It's not going to try to outdo BioShock at all, because you just got to put that to bed. It was a place and time thing that this was so impactful. To this day, there's plenty of video game players you could say, do you know what Would You Kindly is about or where it's from, and they wouldn't remember or know. If you bring them back to BioShock, sure, they probably might be able to remember it then. I kind of wish we could have infinitely played and fought more Big Daddies, and there was more variety of Big Daddies. If that was the whole game, was just, this is a random world with some quests that's much more open world, and they had an infinite number of Big Daddies you could fight that, I don't know, scaled up to a level. This game is definitely missing RPG elements to be dumbed down. It's missing up XP, it's missing leveling up and scaling difficulty. It's missing infinite wallets. Why was my wallet always getting stuck at $500? Why is there even a marker that says I could go up to 1,000 place if that's not the case? That makes no sense at all. So you're seeing a lot of 2K in the credit here. Take-Two was the company, and 2K bought them, and I changed their name to a 2K something, because there's a 2K Asia, 2K China, 2K Moran, 2K Montreal probably. So they were a small company when they made this game, and now they're part of this big company, and I just don't know what they're going to do. It's also worth pointing out that this BioShock Remastered is made by Blind Squirrel. The PC port is, and Blind Squirrel, I guess in part, probably has the most blame for the crashiness of this game and bugginess of this game. Alright. So, we've still got some stuff to do, though. Something must have crashed and messed this up, because we saw all these, but I can't go back and watch them. Interesting. So we've got the museum. Let's check this out. This is extra stuff, and the game crashed. Alright. So that is weird. Let's see if I can launch the game really fast. See, the problem when you try to relaunch this, too, is it waits until you synchronize. So instead of making you sit here and wait, I'll just stop the recording and match it back when it is done saving the save file to Steam Cloud. What a terrible system, really. And that's kind of on Steam, is that the game won't launch. Anywho, we'll be back in a second. And we're back. It's kind of appropriate. And see here, we now can't look at any of the director's commentary. It is kind of appropriate that that as we're wrapping up this game, it crashed again. Just to make sure. Now, I kind of wonder if I could potentially continue the game and change the difficulty up and still get the achievement for beating it on the harder settings. It really doesn't matter to me. Let's hope the museum doesn't crash this time, though, because there's several other achievements I missed. Whenever that patch comes out, I hope it fixes all the crashes, because there's been far too many. One is too many. So this is the Museum of Orphaned Concepts, a guided tour of ideas that Irrational Games discarded and reworked heavily during the making of the original BioShock. Like, I have this half concept where I'd like to go install and play the original BioShock and just like compare the graphics. Undoubtedly the remastered is better, but it's kind of a remaster that doesn't need to be made if you just want the truth of it. Like, here's something, but let's see. Irrational's artist tried to envisage Unload City, the action function, an early conception of walk thick forest for the purpose of oxygen exchange. Seen here, the observation of a cat works using trees made in the Arcadia level. Okay. I kind of need volume here. We know what these are. These are the slugs, and it feels like these slugs have been remastered too. I feel like the remastered was unnecessary, and it introduces all this crashiness for no reason. As far as I understand, BioShock played just fine. Here's the prototype Big Daddy with an enormous hook firing iron bearings from a barrel. Stood for slow projection F up melee. See, that wouldn't be too bad. And I believe in Infinite there is something like that. Here's an early bouncer with no hands, just two gloves. See, they really spent some effort here. Although I don't know if it really was Irrational that did any of this work. Hanging sea life, that would have been a cool concept. Here, if we look outside the windows a little bit and look at the city, you may notice that there's not as much greenery in the city as we saw in the remastered stuff. But it's kind of just like a coat of new paint for no reason. Like, you painted your house and then the next year you just felt like painting it again. Sure, it's been, what is this? Grenade splicer. You can see these blacked out sections are either a visual glitch or just things that were never animated and never skinned over. The game would certainly feel a lot different if that creature was in there. The splices already are very far from looking human, but they still are recognizable as something that could have been from human. If you start going in this direction, you're making just a zombie game. This one was called the Hooker. Obvious. Let's see. Because the weapons of choice concept evolved into Spider Slicer, which the Splicer's model would. The Hooker model later became the Baby Jane Splicer, which must be from the second game because we never saw anything like that. Again, horror game. This literally looks like from Hellraiser. And there's no music here. And I would be fine with playing a horror game like that. It just pulls you so far away from the story of Rapture, which obviously is what they wanted to focus on. Like, any of these creatures could show up in any other game. Easily. I'm actually very surprised that none of this did show up in any other game. This should be their next game. It's like we have all these models and assets from BioShock from 10 years ago. 10 years they were not able to use any of this at all. Let's see. I'm not going to read all these things. These are obviously splicers that they were going to create. And then more hanging sea life all over the place, which some of this was used in the game. And then Big Daddy concept art breaking through the wall. Concept art. I keep thinking that these guys are going to start moving and shooting at me in a second, but I don't even have a gun. I do have a life bar. Even this doesn't look human enough for the story they were telling. Look at this. This is straight out of something from Aliens. Early creature concepts. Wow. This game could have been a completely different game. Alright. And again, this guy, they were giving them all these pumps or something that was gonna put the DNA, I guess, the atom directly into them. I guess you have to just save and exit out of here. Iconic Rapture concepts. Yeah, this could have been any company could have taken these assets and put this museum together. And I bet Irrational didn't even touch on this. I bet they brought him back for the interview and probably either were contractually obliged to do that interview or paid them a lot. And that's, I bet, all the people that actually made the original BioShock did, and everything else was just blind squirrel taking assets from the DLC of BioShock Infinite, Return to Rapture. We do also have this additional content though. So while this is a BioShock product, it's not meant to extend the BioShock story or connect the narrative events of the main game. This is a separate product intended to be enjoyed on its own merits. We do recommend you play BioShock first to gain familiarity with the game's interface and system. The challenge will require a mixture of puzzle solving, exploration, combat, and experimentation. Each provides a different kind of experience. We hope you enjoy them. And this is the BioShock Challenge Room team. Again, probably not Irrational Games. With no weapons and no damage dealing plasmids, find a way to defeat a Big Daddy and rescue the little sister. Save a little sister trapped on the top of a malfunctioning Ferris wheel. Save a little sister. Choose a variety of tools. So we just got this extra stuff. Let's see how long it is. We could be going for another hour or two. Well, this could just take a short amount of time. How do you defeat a Big Daddy with no weapons? The Big Daddy is gone berserk. Can you save the little sister? This feels like it was DLC without a weapon. Eliminating our Big Daddy, but how? With no weapons or damage dealing plasmas, it'll take cunning and creative to solve this puzzle. So this is just like, we're just in some kind of DLC thing. It's not DLC. What do I have?
Look!
There's a guy over there, alright. I'm getting these Eve hypos. But unless I get telekinesis or something, I don't see a point. And I can't jump over that. We've got a couple of rooms here. Battery. Unless I can get the right things to invent something, which since I can't scrounge, I have to take whatever I find. And I can't break that even, so that's not gonna work. At least we have the Vita chamber. We have a rose. We found one rose, good. So a invent, we can make an automatic hack tool. And maybe hack something. And then there's just this. Let's see if I could hack that, and that. Then Big Daddy's on taken care of. So 3 hack tools are what we're looking for. I thought the store opened.
You sound just like her!
I have to hack this one. Yeah, and that's impossible to hack right now. So there's just all of these things in this fire range. But I need 4 a lot of stuff. And those things are gonna hit me. I've got no health. Interesting. Honestly, this doesn't feel like it's really a puzzle as much as it is just a small little section that was cut out of the game, or a concept that was going to be in the game. So now I have target dummy, which is okay, cool. So I can use target dummy for what? I have plenty of Eve, so that's not an issue. But I'm still very short on that. So Just die right there. Really, what am I supposed to do here? See, I just don't buy that I can convince all of these guys to, like, attack that. And then run through here. Survive. And I'm like 1 rubber hose, 2 batteries, and several other things just short. I suppose if I hadn't fallen, target them at a time. Seriously, what am I supposed to do? Maybe what I can do is convince them to hit here. Would that work? No. There's another Eve hypo. But if I run back this way, like if I put that there,
Hurry, Mr. B.
like, can I really jump on that guy? I didn't think so. See, she wants to go in there, and she wants to go harvest Adam out of that guy. And I can't just have him wander this way and then wander this way. Maybe what I can do is can I zoom in really far and do that. Oh, yes I can, okay. start shooting that way. And I'm over here, snug as a bug in a rug, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and search all these. And then decide to come over here. All these things just have bandages in them, which is fine by me. There we go, one more thing. So we solved, let's see. Here we have the next bit of the puzzle. We got to get this guy to stand on that, which seems like not a big problem. It's strange it's not attacking me. Now we have Winter Blast, and we have a little bit of health. Rubber hose, door control, one new event. We are one brass tube short. Come on, where's that one brass tube? See, Winter Blast 3, I don't think actually... Oh, I think I know what I need to do. It's crazy, too, but I have to switch to target dummy, put that there, then wait until it comes over here, and then wait till it's hop on him, hop on that, and I don't know if this is going to work. Just reinforce him to be frozen every time I miss this jump. There we go. Now I got that brass tube. So this is kind of cool. It's just all out of the game. So it just feels like this extra thing. So this is taking forever, but we're getting it done. See, they won't hit him long enough to shatter him, but they will do enough damage. See, since he attacks the target dummy, and I attacked it, and they attacked the target dummy, that's all it takes. So what's our next step? Seems like I took the Big Daddy down. Come on, little sister, you're safe now.
Thank you, Mr.
We can only hit Y to rescue.
Sunshine, bubbles, and rain.
So, final time, 14 minutes, 1 of 4 roses collected. I really have no interest to, like, try and find all of the roses on that. Since it doesn't add anything to the story, it's just kind of like, well, this should have been in the game, but this was made probably around 9 years after the game was released. Now, I'm almost certain this is DLC because I think I remember seeing it. Or maybe it was DLC for the second game? Like, and you're getting these the comic book idea never even came about. I mean, there was no comic books in the game at all. The little sister is trapped at the top of the Ferris wheel. Bring her down safely. You need to find ways to electrify the Ferris wheel controls. Can you solve this shocking puzzle? And I can't pull it. Well, I can, but it doesn't help. And I'm pretty sure I've played this before, so this was some like DLC, early DLC of the day. Again, we have no abilities. And his electroshot gun. If we could get in that room. Control. Help down the little sister who's crying. Didn't really need that game. Okay, so is this seriously something where I have to shock myself and then run over here and shock this? Oh, you know what it is? I have to kill myself. That's why it's here. You have to kill yourself so you end up in the Vita chain here. Now that's a messed up puzzle. Shotgun, potato chips, electroshock. We have one of those. So, hope this works.
Hey, look! Hey, look!
Sold out? Sold out?
And I suppose this is the perfect place to be really certain about getting the exact amount and not missing anything. See, I'm pretty certain I could just jump down this way.
One too many. One too many. One too many. One too many. One too many.
You can call the elevator and shock yourself, I suppose, but I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm supposed to just run down this way. What was that? That item I got? Instant something. Let's see. Alcohol. Well, I still get drunk drinking alcohol. What's this one? Static discharge. Right. Oh, you emit electricity when you're damaged.
I earned this, me! You give it to me, you hear?
Licorice isn't fried. It's pulled like taffy. Licorice isn't fried. It's pulled like taffy. Licorice isn't fried. It's pulled like taffy.
Like, what is this?
Licorice isn't fried. Licorice isn't fried. Licorice isn't fried. It's pulled like taffy. Licorice isn't fried.
See, I won, and I imagine that's...
Licorice isn't fried. It's pulled like taffy.
What is she talking about? Yeah, let's just booze it up here. Do I want to jump down? Whoa, that is messed up. I don't think I want to. Let's instead go here. Electrify the Ferris wheel. Alright. Ferris wheel electrified. And how many different places do we need to do that? Did we just finish the puzzle?
Who is that? When I find you, I'm gonna teach you. I'm worth 10 of you! My territory! Mine!
Attack me.
Coward! You got
So that's Ferris wheel 1 of 6. Alright, so...
God damn it, I'm bleeding!
I'm just waiting for him to come attack me.
Pathetic woman! That's cute. Real cute!
Hey, man. So that's 2. And as best as I can see, there's nothing else here. We got this whole other section. Telekinesis, Eve, all of this. Do we have to take part of that? Or is the guy still rolling over here to hit me? I don't want to drink any more alcohol. That was not a pleasant experience. So when I look here, it shows me where she is and waste time.
Sweetheart, maybe you should ask somebody else for advice.
And here invent. See if I can make electric gel and trap bolts. Both of those would give me a significant amount of electricity to play with. And see, this little Ferris wheel section could easily have been in Rapture. Would it have really worked? Not right now, but we need to melt Yeah, I see her. I guess there is something to be said. Why is this so big? That's a really, really big pneumo tube. It's probably designed to block the fire or something. Which, how do we get the fire? Oh, we don't. We can get the bandages that way, but... Well, actually there is something we can do here. And this is something I never would have thought of if I hadn't seen it in the cutscene. Come on. Wiggle your way towards somewhere where I can pick this thing up. I had it for a second there. Come on, let me pick this thing up, stupid. Finally. That took quite a lot. Come on, we get him burned. It doesn't want to show the animation. No! Alright, we got an electric buckshot and we got another hack tool. That's something. Here's like a giant camera. What is this? Let's see. A broken electric safe. Yeah, I don't think that would have helped me any though. Yeah, that's... This is not a solution to a problem, as best as I can figure. Moving on to the next group.
She didn't fit in anyway. I don't care where she's gone.
See, I don't think I could get that to work. These are actually scans anyways. They're designed at an angle so they would bounce right back out anyways. I mean, Well, that was cool. It gave me an Eve Hypo, but nothing else. I didn't know you could telekinesis these things. And there's nothing I can do to pop, like take this, and there's a rose. I bet there's roses in all of these. I would bet. If there's 10 roses in this whole thing. Alright, so we then have to make the decision. Do we want to hack this door, or do we want to hack the machine?
Hello?
Well, I
Your
need
kind
a code.
isn't welcome here. Who is it? Hello? Oh, get the door, Sydney!
Get the door, Sydney. Alright. So if we hack this with the auto hack, which is really only our only chance. We have one electric bill. One. And that's it. So we need to make sure we can do this. And then... There we go. The electric buck didn't charge it. No, we may have screwed up here. It may actually be impossible.
Darling, is that you? Hanger on!
Alright, let's get her to run after me.
Run! That's all your kind can do!
So we need 2 more turns.
Hurry! Hurry, Mr. Bubbles!
Let's see. I almost want to heal. Waste money that way, but whatever. Whoops. So I need to find one more Electro Buck, or it's just game over. Open every toilet. Search in every way. There's a record store. Glue. Eve. Coffee. Knife. Let's see, 2 is bar plasmids. Here's another rose to pick up. Not like I'm gonna get them all, but whatever. Maybe I need to go back to the 2nd floor. Let's see. Cause like I can make a trap bolt, but I don't have a crossbow. And so then I can't use that. Go back up. Where would you integrate this story? This kind of needs to happen in BioShock 2. At the end of, just like at the end of the first game, when you would have a real reason to protect his little sisters and want to save them. This is where we started. And how many turns does it need? Is there any item or anything? 1951. I guess we'll try that. That makes sense, I guess. Looking all around here just to make sure there's not something else I missed. Okay, where is it? Where is it? See, if there was a crossbolt gun somewhere in this system, that would make sense. But it just isn't. There's nothing in this area. Now, is somebody whistling that would attack me? Not yet.
Yes?
We'll try 1951 and hope that's the right number.
Vulgar little tramp!
Hey, it worked. I don't know if that was particularly intentional or if any code would have worked. You coming?
Clean it up! Clean it up! Stop running like a fool!
Come on, lady.
That's all your type is good for!
That's 5 and 6. She's so close. She's under the fire right now.
I heard that! Ah! Fine!
And see, it seems like it's being real nice here. Seems like the game is being really generous here. Because I didn't need to do several things. Either that or this concept is just not a finished concept. Which I'd be willing to buy that also. But health, let's see. Yeah, there's nothing up there. No crossbolt gun or something, anything like that. There's a rose up there. Don't want to get that one. So I imagine 5 of the missing roses are right there. So there's probably one more somewhere else. They wouldn't be too difficult to find. And you're getting all this money for nothing, except for maybe the game player. So she crawls out and we rescue her.
Thank you, Mr. I think the bad man's gone. And rain.
It's really amazing how stern they were about saying this is not part of the main content of the story. That they're just so let's try this on survival while we're here, because this I think is just the just gonna be a straight up fight with a big daddy and then we'll be done. But obviously I'm pretty sure Ken Levine doesn't want any more story added to this, and they don't want to mess up with the story, so they're just saying this is something that didn't actually happen, but what if it did? It's like a what if comic book, except for in what if comic books it always goes horrible because they were designed that way to stop people from complaining about how the actual comic books were going. Little sister wants to be rescued, but the area is crawling with hostile creatures. Clear out all 8 combat arenas and she'll let you in. Alright. And see, this might have been the best concept of an ability tease. So I guess this is just kind of a challenge room, and we've got no money and no ammo and no plasmids and nothing to hack here. So playing this on hard is probably an amazingly dumb move. I've got 6 bullets, so
unacceptable.
I'm gonna jump down here and so we can kind of see what this place is gonna be. We got no plasmids, so let's just begin. Quest room done. Just get him stun locked. So I want to save all my bullets as much as possible for the next things. So I take this gift and it saves. Gave me 80 and pistol damage, power to the people, film. Like I could even like sit here and take pictures. Let's see. See, that would be kind of a waste of time, wouldn't it? So I've got all my weapons back, but none of my plasmids. Only that one guy that was actually killed. Film. And corpse. See, I just don't think it's the smartest move to sit here and try that over and over again. You're being the first challenge, but the next one is harder. You have all your weapons, but you need to buy some ammunition. Like, and each of these is a max hack situation.
Welcome to the
And let's see. An automatic hack tool would be the first thing I'd want to get. And security bullseye as a plasmid. And let's see. Shell. That leaves me with nothing else. And I kind of just want to move forward here. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to finish this. Let's see, can I go to the options and make it easier? Let's just do that because I want to have a quicker experience here, and I have no real desire to sit here and die over and over again. Well, I'm dead. Let's see. Out of ammo. Fortunately, I think he's stuck. So, in some insanity here, I've gotten him stuck.
Time to find the angel.
Gift. What do I get this time? A bunch of money. Is there anything else to search here? If there's a body here? But I don't think there's another body. Alright. Next. So now in the order I just like, I can do the rest of them. Nice. What do I need to make an auto hack tool? Quite a lot. Let's see. Pistol ammo. We've got plenty of money, so not a big mistake there. Get some frag grenades ready, because we're almost starting to use all of those. And who have we not done? The ones that are closed, I assume, are the ones we've already done, so we'll just do this one in the middle. Spin Adam for new powers.
What's that? You think I'm prettier than girl, huh?
And see, this is just a bigger area with some spider slicers. I'm not sure this is the right move. Can I run away? I guess I can. I can run away like a big old coward. Bots? I could probably take out bots. Yep.
Jesus loves me, this I know. For the Bible.
So the alarm alarms are going off. We got buzzers flying around here. Can't hack that. Here we go. This feels like it's a one-way little path. I'm not gonna bother to take pictures. See, it just... After you played the game, it's kind of silly to do this. Before you played the game, it wouldn't make any sense to do any of this. You just wouldn't have the skill. Unlock him. Even on the hardest mode, he's still totally stun locked. So no matter how you play this, as long as you just sit there and hit the button over and over again.
Bubbles and sunshine, bubbles and rain.
See, we're in this weird position now because we're gonna go like an hour. Potentially an hour over. Let's see. And the still kind of makes sense. Can I get that auto hacker? No. Can I purchase some things? Like Insect Swarm 3, Incinerate 2. Eve Saver. Wrench Rocket. Static Disk Storage. Might as well go with them all. Alright, Splicers. Next year. Spend money on vending machines? I don't think I did. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have dead bodies at the top here, but whatever.
Hello? Go away!
And see, this is like a different cult section. That was quite the fall. But see, this is just like a big, tall section of. See this, I see like in the Fontaine residences, if they had made it more open like this, it would have worked better.
Turns out there was nothing there. Who would have thought? Goddamn doctor! I don't.
What?
Typical behavior for someone with
Where are you going?
Well, we're out of bullets, so let's see who else has some bullets. Nobody. Should have bought some bullets. That's my bad. Running away, coward. Is this? Continue splicer. Here's the fun one. Because
Running like a fool! I'm writing down your name, you filth!
that's another one done. Again, an interesting area. Could have certainly been in the main game, but almost certainly not made anywhere near the top. Now, I suspect the PC version may not have actually had these elements, though. So this might be the first time that I've actually been able to play this on PC. Still don't have that auto hack tool. And so let's buy some bullets. Moving forward. All kinds of enemies, it says. That, unfortunately, so might as well just take it out of commission.
What is that thing?
It's hitting. This guy's hitting. This is so easy on easy. It's incredibly ridiculous. I'm glad I played the game on easy, whether that was either by my own mistake or by the game turning it off. Although I don't agree with games making themselves more difficult, even if they think you are a good enough player. But it would have been a too easy, it would have been laughable. But you still get into a lot of fights like this where it's just one too many bullets, one too many enemies. And I kind of wish it was more often a one-shot, one-kill situation. You almost never get a headshot that kills on the first hit in this game. Maybe you just don't ever get a headshot that kills on the first hit. Even with the anti-personnel bullets, or the armor bullets, or any of the other bullets, for that matter. We got everything here. See, it's saving again, and every time it saves, I'm afraid. I'm terrified. Finally, I can make an automatic hack tool and hack this. And buy a bunch of those. Make a couple of those. And a couple of those. So we've got the splicers. We've got Big Daddies and that. Let's go see what this one is. Spin Atom for new power. Do I have Atom? Ooh, I do. Telekinesis. I'll take Enrage. And let's see. I don't think there's anything else that I smell actually taking. Security turret maze. Like, do I have any idea at all why this is a good idea? I should have the electric bolt attack before I come in here. Those guys getting hit. Where'd the Big Daddy go? Just keep running around here. Some of these paths are actually safer than others, simply because the unfortunately, I don't think this is settled. I think I've got to get rid of all these. Let's check one upgrade. Still haven't figured out where that Big Daddy went. There it is. Come on. Go. Another gift, another save. 45 minutes over what the time I thought this was going to be. I could have made a second episode of this. Electro Bolt 3 is what I should have had. And nothing else, I guess. So we got the splicers, and we've got the big daddies. Let's take the splicers on. The spider splicers, that is. That's the one down. You're down. We really never did have a sequence where they were crawling on the roof like crazy. They did certainly crawl on the roof every now and then, but you'd never run into more than a couple of them. Of course, these levels also feel very video game-like, and I could understand the desire to avoid running into that. Here we have the Big Daddy is already dead. That's an interesting, like, phrase, stop ogling me. It's like, I remember playing, when I first played the game, thinking to myself, man, that is weird that they're saying that, but okay. Let's see, damage increase for the grenade launcher. That seems good enough. And we're not going to get all the upgrades. It kind of wish that there was 12 of these, because if you got 2 upgrades each time, that would like make some more sense. Take that. And take this. And we're ready to wrap this up and take on the Big Daddies. I've got 3 heat seeking and 12 frags, so we'll start with the heat seeking. Well, we'll start with an enrage and see if maybe we can get them to fight each other. Because I imagine this might be like 3 Big Daddies in the same room. See, this is in the Arcadia style. And they're just going and fighting. That's one down. Switch to the frag grenades. That's 2 down. So were there actually 4? of these guys. Wow, 4 big daddies in one area. And see, we can get one more upgrade, but that's not all of them. They're cool little extra things, but they really add nothing to the game. I would have much rather seen...
I wish I had some jelly.
I wish these elements were in the next game. Like, the next Shock game, System Shock or BioShock. And remember, System Shock is getting made by a Kickstarter that I don't think is really any of the people from Erasmus. One more thing to do. They're all coming for me. Should have seen that coming. Wasting a lot of stuff here with the frag grenades for no reason. Because now it's totally gonna show up more powerful things than these splicers are gonna start showing up. Little Houdini slices, not much. There's like a big daddy coming. Let's see, we're playing on easy, so the big daddy showing up is nothing. And is she gonna really open the door this time? Yes. And we'll free her. And see, it would be kind of funny if right now it just harvested her without your options.
Thanks, Mr. Bubbles.
You didn't even have a choice. Completed on Survivor difficulty, which I do not believe is the truth, because I think I came in here and changed it to easy. Alright. So, that's BioShock Remastered. Again, I would probably say, if you got this because you bought the BioShock collection, if you got this for free because you already own BioShock, absolutely play BioShock Remastered. But maybe consider playing original BioShock 2 and just putting up with the slightly lesser graphics, but at least the original textures in a lot of places. Now, post-patch, when this game, if this game post-patch, I guess, it's an if, not a when, gets fixed so that the graphics options are more realistic, and, ooh, it wasn't supposed to be at that resolution. Alright, well, even if it says that resolution, it's just getting scaled down in my video recorder, sorry. But actually, that does mean more things. See, crashing and having video settings mess up is a problem. The controlling sensitivity and mouse acceleration is kind of a problem, but I got over it really fast. The audio is alright, but not having the 5.1 is a problem. The dialogue turning off is a problem. Having art subtitles is ridiculous, and they shouldn't be on. Let's see. But all the basics are here. It's remastered, it looks good. If somebody absolutely refused to play the original BioShock because it looked too old, I'd put them in front of BioShock Remastered and then call them silly for not being willing to play the original game. there's not much that's changed. The story doesn't change, just the textures change, and some of the options change, and how often it crashes changes for the negative. So it's kind of just this pointless remaster. And I kind of don't want to see the video game industry go down this path. I don't want to see remasters of games that came out 2 years ago simply because there's a new console out. But we used to call those patches too. Anywho, that's it for this series. It's been a long one, nearly 2 hours. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me even further, you can click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab, and I have a playlist for every game I've ever covered, so I'm sure you can check that out and find something that will interest you. I will eventually play BioShock 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait till next year, October, or if I can find some free time to sneak it in there. Since there's really no announcement for anything else from this team until a new game starts to come out, there's not a huge rush, unfortunately. I have so many other games to cover. Finally, down below in the description, and yes, I'll eventually get to Infinite after I play BioShock 2. Down below in the description box, I have links to all my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net, so you can friend and follow me on all of those services. Following me on those social services lets you know when my latest videos are available to view, and it helps me out with those services to have more followers. So please do follow and friend. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.